I'm live. 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 Tell a friend to tell a friend. Can you hear me? Let's make sure. Oh, I am. Okay, good. Awesome sauce. Okay. Come on into the room. It is the final week of the Literature Challenge Savings Edition. My hair's everywhere. And I feel so good. I feel good. No, 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 no. I knew that I would, yeah. How you feeling? Girl, it's been 3 weeks. And you stuck with it. I know it's been a lot, or it may have seemed like a lot, but you stuck with it. So week one, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't get Literature Challenge Savings Edition, you might want to go scoop it. So week one was all about mindset, because we had to season your brain to prepare it to receive the information necessary to move forward. You had my awesome friend Kara who did like that closing week's chat with y'all. It was awesome. I'm sure it was. Week two was all about implementation automation. That was a chunky week. You can't hear? Can y'all hear? Let me know if you can hear. Because someone said they can't hear. If you're watching the replay, sorry. That's what it looks like. Just let me know real quick if you can hear. And if not, then I will fix it real quick. Okay, you can hear me good. Okay. If you can't hear for whatever reason, someone tell her refresh. All right. So week two was all about implementation and automation. Okay. And so that was a chunky week. That was like the work week. Week one, getting your mindset right, because it's hard to do the work if you are not mentally and emotionally prepared to see it through. Week two was like, let's get to work. Okay. Here's how you save, how you cut back, And week three, it's all about abundance, right? It's about abundance and earning. So because when you don't have enough money at the end of the month, you have one or two issues or a mix of both. You have a I don't make enough issue, or you have a I spend too much issue. I'm gonna say that again. You have a I don't make enough issue, or I spend too much issue. So week two is really about especially for folks who are like, I might be spending too much. So we really talked about how to cut back, how to find the extra money. And this week we're really talking about for those who really don't make enough, how do I make more? How do I invite abundance into my life? So let's go. We're going to go day by day, day by day. This week's goal, how to attract abundance and identify ways to increase your earnings. That's what this week's goal is. I'm getting right from the book. Okay, good. Okay. You have both issues. I don't know. Okay. Oh, you have both issues. Yes. We're going to take questions at the end. Okay. So day 15, your easy financial task was to learn what abundance means and how to activate it in your life. There was a video for you to watch. Hope you did. And one of the things that I know it sounds all woo-woo about attracting abundance, but the truth is the way you think about yourself, the way you think about money, is how you act about money. And so it really does, it really is important to learn to attract abundance first, internally first. And so one of the tips I said in this day was to really begin with gratefulness, because it's really hard to have abundance if you are ungrateful. So I actually used to have, I don't have it here in my messy office. I used to have this bucket where I would have these little bits of paper throughout the year. I would write down when something good happened, good or bad. I had all green lights today. I had a slamming sandwich. I got a big major contract. I would put it in this bucket thing. And then at the end of the year, I would read it, because I wanted to illustrate myself that there are things always to be grateful for. Even when things are wrong, y'all know that I've been going through grief, but even in grief, I have found space for gratefulness. And so one of the ways to attract abundance is beginning with gratefulness. It signifies that you acknowledge what you do have versus what you don't have. Okay, got it? Good. Another way for this step for day 15 is your perspective. You have to make yourself worthy of the thing that you seek. If you know what, I do overspend on things that really actually don't make my life better. It's like, if you're wanting something, it's not what's happening externally as much as what's happening internally. You have to prepare yourself, because you might say, please God, if I can only get this job, and that job requires a certain skill set, or that job requires you move to a certain place, how are you going to have that thing unless you shift, right? You have to make yourself worthy of the thing you seek, you know? So learning to shift your perspective to say, there is nothing externally that I can have if I do not internally prepare myself for. I'm going to say that again, right? There is nothing externally that I can have until I prepare myself for it internally. You want that job? Like literally, you could win. Have you ever heard? I'm sure you heard the stat before that the majority of people who win the lottery within 1 year are actually broker. So you win the lottery, say for like $5 million. The average lottery winner within 1 year, not only do they not have the 5 million, they're negative. And why? Because they are not ready for the thing that they're seeking. Sometimes you don't have the thing, not because you're not going to get it, because you're not ready for it. So it's preparation and patience for the thing that you're seeking. Okay? All right. And last but not least for this step, your generosity. I truly believe that giving activates abundance. Sometimes when I feel like nothing is going my way, the thing that I'm wanting is out of reach. You know what I tell myself? I said, because you're watching the Tiffany channel too long. You have the Tiffany TV on too long. You need to switch the channel, and in doing so, by asking myself, how could I be of service to someone without expectation? Because I really do believe you reap what you sow. We do. You literally reap what you sow. You might not reap where you sow, but you for sure reap what you sow. And so I want you to be mindful that if you're wanting to bring abundance into your life, whatever that's going to look like for you, I'm just turn down my heat because I got radiators and it's hissing and getting my nerves. I'm like, girl, we get it, girl, you work. Like I'm wanting that. If you're wanting something, oftentimes we're stuck because we're just focused on ourselves. That in focusing on other people, you'd be so surprised that one thing that you're wanting, that person that you help might be friends with that person that can help you. Okay? Okay, that was day 15. Learn what abundance means and how to activate in your life. Did y'all like that? Did you like it? Did you like it? Okay. All right. Day 16, right? And we'll take questions at the end. Calculate the total cost of your loves and add them to your money list. Now, remember my green bracelet? Need it, love it, like it, want it. Need it, love it, like it, want it. That's what these bracelets mean. And they're on my right hand because I'm righty. And before I spend any money, those are the 4 questions we ask ourselves. Do I need it? Do I love it? Do I like it? Do I want it? Need it, love it, like it, want it. Need it, love it, like it, want it, right? So, need it, love it, like it, want it. So your needs, obviously, you take care of your needs because you will not be healthy. You will not be here if you don't take care of your needs. And that's okay for those. So I see some of you say you have to do the challenge over. That's what I love about it. The challenge is automated. You can do it again and again and again. We do it live together the first time, and then it's automated. You could do it 20,000 times if you want to, right? So first you identify your needs, but you know those needs because you have to do them in order for you to be safe, healthy and safe. Now, what we tend to do is we skip over our loves. So the loves are things that a year from now will still bring you joy. So for me, love to travel. I still remember trips from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Me, not so much clothes. I mean, I like clothes. This is cute, right? My little sweater. It's cute. But honestly, if this sweatshirt got lost, I likely wouldn't even notice. So it wouldn't be counted as a love. So a love is something that brings you lasting joy. A like is temporary joy. 6 months or so, you feel good about it for 6 months or so. And after that, not so much. Those are likes, temporary joy, and wants instant satisfaction. So for me, a girl like me loves a Burt's Bees lip gloss. When I tell you I love a Burt's Bees lip, I love a Burt's Bees lip gloss. But I keep, look at this. I got this one. I got this one. I probably have 10 in this house. When I buy them, it doesn't bring me any joy. It's just instant satisfaction. I'm like, oh, let me get it. Instant satisfaction. So we, for this step, want to look at your day 4. Okay, you should have done your homework. And I want you to look at, I want you to look at your day 10. That's when you did your money list, your budget. And I want you to identify those things that add joy, lasting joy, your loves, and add them up and say, okay, if I want these things, if I want to travel, maybe it's something for the kids, maybe you want to start a business, whatever it's going to bring you lasting joy. I wouldn't focus more probably than on 2 things at a time. How much do I need to make per month to activate that abundance? Because it's important that as we do these things for our personal finances, that it's not just woo woo, like I just abundance and I manifest. Okay. And we need a budget and a plan to back it up. Back that thing up. Back that thing up. Okay. Right? You need to I don't know that song. Girl, you look good. You better back that. You need to back that thing up. That it's not just enough to feel the thing and to have the emotion. What's the thing that you want? Like, if you want to go on a trip, it's not just be like, oh, I would love to go to Egypt. Okay. Well, sis, how much does Egypt cost? It's going to cost you $3,000. Okay. Can you save $300 a month? Okay. You see what I mean? Like, you have to not just say you want the thing, which is great, not just say I want to manifest the thing, which is also great. You have to plan for the thing so you can have the thing. Okay. And that's what day 16 is all about. It's about getting clear on what those loves are, lasting joy. How much do you think it's going to cost you? Do the math and put it down. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Day 17, right? Make more money. So day 17 is getting to the nitty of the gritty, honey, right? It's all about making more money. Remember I talked about like really the second week was all about like cutting back, but the thing about your budget is likely you're going to need to do both. You might, for some people, it might be frugal, but you might need to cut back some. But some people need to learn to earn more. And that's what day 17 is all about. Brainstorm ways to use your skills and talents and experience to make more money each month. Share how you plan to make extra income with me and your accountability partner, right? So here's some quick pointers that I mentioned in day 17. Use your degree. Right? If you have an education or maybe you have a certificate, because when you use your degree or certificate, this is for side stuff, not necessarily for your job, but it could be. People will pay you more. Like when I was a school teacher, I used to be a preschool teacher for 10 years. But like, this is number 2. Would you use what you do for a living? So when I was a school teacher for 10 years, I used to babysit on the side for extra money, but I got paid a premium because I was a school teacher. So I was able to parlay. Remember we used to say that back in the day? Some of y'all young ones don't know nothing about that old school, right? When I used to parlay. Who remembers parlay? I used to parlay my experience as a school teacher to say, well, this is why I'm top dollar. Because one, the school don't play that. Like I have my fingerprints on file, background checks out the wazoo. I'm with kids all day long, 15 of them. So your one little baby ain't nothing. I could take care of that little baby, right? And so you're going to use your degree, use what you do for a living, activate potentially your passion. Okay. And one of the best ways, I got this from my friend Sandy, who is a financial educator herself, right? One of the best ways to get an instant income boost is to get a raise. I depending what time you might be watching the replay, but asking for a raise, one of the best ways to ask for a raise is this way. Create what I call, my sister actually calls a Go Me file, right? So a Go Me file is when you keep a notebook or an email file to yourself or a file on your computer, whenever you do something that adds value to where you work, it makes the company money, it saves the company money, right? And try to quantify the value as much as possible. So that way, when you're going to ask for a raise, you're not really asking for a raise. You just saying, hey, look, I had saved y'all $100,000 last year. I'm not even asking for $100,000. To be real, I'm just saying a nice little raise. You know what I'm saying? Like my Go Me folder showed me here's all the ways I've brought quantifiable value by making or saving the company money or time or energy, And so I'm asking for a raise. Okay. So that is all about. So I want you to just be mindful of that. There's other ways to make side income. There's focus groups, online surveys. You can rent and sell clothes, but you want to be very suspicious of scams. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So like I said, we're going to take questions at the end. Don't worry. Because I want whoever's watching the replay, they're not like, I don't want them questions. We're just trying to get through this and we're going to take questions at the end. That way the replay crew can watch later and turn off the questions if they don't want it. Day 18, your abundance plan. You're going to figure out how many hours you may need to work to pay for your loves, your abundance, right? And so here's the thing. You might have to put in some more hours. Like I used to babysit on the side when I wanted to travel. I used to tutor when I wanted to travel. And so what to make additional, you might not have to have additional hours. Like let's just say if you get a raise at work, it might not require extra hours. But like I said before, you want to plan for your abundance. So keep in mind the amount of money that you need for your loves and calculate the number of hours and at the rate you need to work each week. This might not apply to everyone, but I wanted to put this in there for those people who are going to be doing things that are going to require more time. Okay? Awesome. So that's 18, your abundance plan. Got it. Got it? Good. Okay. Day 19, your abundant action plan. Take one step forward on your path to making more money. Now, this is critical because we be talking. I need you to walk in. We be talking. I know I be talking. Girl, like I remember for the longest, so I was always pretty skinny as a kid. Slamming in high school because I played sports. And even in college, I was a little slim. And then honestly, I was slim up until mid to early 30s. And I got a little slim thick. Then I just got thick. And I was talking. Well, I'm gonna get back, exercise. Everything was moving. My mouth was moving. My body was not exercising. I need to do less of this, more of this. But recently, I started to take action. And that's why you see me now, back to slim thick. Okay? I want to stand up. You're like, Tiffany, you snatch girl. I am. But it was because I took one step forward. I started with, girl, stop drinking your calories. I stopped drinking soda and juice. I stopped that a long time ago, and that was like, okay, that activated something. And then I was like, you need more vegetables. What are you, 2? Eat your vegetables, girl. Your mama's not here to force you. So I started eating more vegetables. And then, because when you're grown, you start to realize certain things, depending on your body and your body type, certain foods I would eat and be like, every time I eat this, I feel bad. So why I keep eating this? Because it tastes good? Like literally for me, meat don't do me good. And meat, ooh, child, it binds me in the name of Jesus. Right? Chicken. And I love chicken. I still sometimes will sneak a little chicken. And chicken is like, I got you. Your stomach is going to be distended tomorrow. Hope you're not wearing a bathing suit. And I said, dang, like refined carbs, child, I eat it, the itis. Eat it, itis. I just thought it was normal to take a nap every single day. My team will tell you, you hit me at 2, I'm asleep. Because them damn carbs, now that I have no carbs, because I, like now I have healthy carbs, which gives me energy. I was like, wait, you mean you can eat and feel energy? Right? So what I started to do was take these small little things. Your girl lost 30 pounds. 30 pounds. I would stand up, but it's going to be too much. I'm wearing shorts. They're not shorts, but I would stand up just to be like, hell, 30 pounds. Right? Skin is glowing. Look at it. Look at this. Look, take a look at this. This is skin in its 40s, honey. Okay? Skin is glowing. I lost 30 pounds. But why? Because of day 19. Take a step forward. It was just, Tiffany, drink water. Tiffany, drink water. Okay, then I did that for a while. So what does that look like for your abundance plan? Is it, you know what? I'm going to make a list of the places I want to travel to. Is it, you know what? I already know I want to go to Egypt. How much does that cost? Let me just look it up. I know I ain't got the money right now. Let me just look it up. Is it, you know what? I'm going to go back and do the literature challenge again. Is it, you know what? I am going to look at my money list and see what I can cut back. Is it, I'm going to address that credit. I don't even watch cable. Let me cut that thing off. What's one small task? Because it is a cumulative effect, right? Success is cumulative, like layers of a cake. I started to drink water. I said more vegetables. I was like, cut out meat, cut out unhealthy carbs, started to walk. And I just now started to like exercise again. Like walking is exercise, but like I'm talking about like a little lifting, you know what I'm saying? You get to be a certain age, if you want to keep that body tight and right, you got to lift a little something. But I didn't lift. Honestly, it's been all these years. I've not lifted since my 20s. Well, no, that's not true. Maybe my early 30s, right? And so I'm just saying all that to say that these small tasks have to start with one task. Okay? That's got to start with one task, And so like, what does that mean? Do one activity. What's something you can do? Search Craigslist for studies in your area. Sign up for a survey site. Mention a side hustle to everyone you see. Start to use social media to drum up some interest. Start a faith focus group. The key is to do something. It's not the thing that's going to transform your whole life, child, right? It's one small thing. Literally, it was a layering. It was a layering. And so, like, you slowly but surely layer these things, and it gets to your snatched waist, pretty face. Snatched waist, pretty face. Snatched waist, pretty face. Okay. Okay. Right? You want to be consistent. Okay. All right. And then day 20 was review, reflect, relax. Review, reflect, relax. We have that every day at the end. And really was just for you to review the task, reflect on how far you've come, and just relax and woosah. Okay? Okay. And so we did have day 21. So the reason why I have day 21 in here is because I'd read this study that says if you do something for 21 days straight, it is very likely to become a habit. And so this is day 21 is us chit-chatting, right? It was really to just watch this with me. So how do you feel? Like that was your abundance week, but really, even if, here's the thing, I know some of you guys are like, I didn't get a chance. I got overwhelmed. I get to finish. The beautiful thing about this challenge is it's not going nowhere. It's FREE, 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 free. What you know about me? It's free. It's free, free, free. And certainly you can get the book if you want, but you don't have to get the book. You know what I mean? Like, you can get the book if you're like someone who like wants like a workbook, Bible, whatever, but it's free, sis. It don't cost nothing. You could go back and do it again with your sister, again with your cousin, again with your mama. You know what I mean? And so even if you just did one day, that's one day more than you did last year. You know what I mean? So I want you to give yourself some grace and space. It is not easy navigating personal finances. Just like, with any other sort of growth and movement, it's not easy. I have learned to not be so hard on myself. Like we're so hard on ourselves, talking to ourselves crazy. I know you be talking to yourself crazy. I know. You be saying like, girl, what are you doing? Dang, you should have been got that fixed. You too grown for this. We too old for this. I know you do, because I talk to myself crazy too. So I have to tell myself, girl, who you talking to? I was at the park the other day. I love sisters. I was at the park the other day, and a sister was walking and talking on her phone, talking to her friend, and I was just, ear hustling. And she said, I had to tell her who she talking to. And sometimes you got to pull yourself up and say, who you talking to? Not me. Don't talk to me like that. I don't deserve that. I am doing my best. The only thing that you should require of yourself is growth. It's growth. I don't care if it's growth just this much or this much or this much or this. Great. I just want that you work on growth. Literally, the first part of my health journey was just drinking water for 2 years. I didn't change nothing else. I was still eating whatever I wanted, but I was like, girl, 90% of the time, my cup had water in it. That was it for 2 years. Before slowly but surely, I started adding other things. I'm telling you, I'm now back to basically ideally where I wanted to be. But it's been at least 5-6 years that I have not been felt fully comfortable with the size that I was. So 5 or 6 years of being like, dag. No, but you know what? There's growth. That's all I ask of myself. And that's all I want you to ask, And so if you feel like there has been a little bit of growth, child, I'm getting hot. Okay. The lights is hot. If you don't see my setup, the lights is hot, child. At this age, you be melting. Right? That's all I ask. Okay. Okay. I know we're all hard on ourselves. Okay. And so if you're watching the replay, certainly you can jump off now if you want. We're going to take some questions. Ask your questions. Ask your questions. And I'll tell you no lie. Ooh, the chat is chatting. It's going so fast. I want to remind you that it's awesome sauce over here. If you thought this is really great, tell your people to go to, matter of fact, let me put it up on the thing. LRC for Literature Challenge, save.com. Tell them. The good thing about it is I don't care if you do it now, 10 years from now, 20 years. I don't know how the internet's going to be. So let's just say a few years from now, a month from now, whatever. At any point, you too can restart and go to lrcsave.com and restart. And so, if that's what you're needing and that's what you're wanting, it's there for you. Okay. Let me see. Okay, you tell me more about TaskRabbit. Do I have to file taxes? So typically, I mean, depending when you're watching this, replay people, typically if you make over $600, it will trigger some sort of tax requirement, but you're going to want to talk to your accountant, or even honestly, TurboTax will probably have something, like you could probably Google it. Like Tax Rabbit, hey, TurboTax, if I get, so you typically, if you make over $600, the government's like, you made some money, I want some of that. Okay. And typically, though, those like app things will send you like a 1099, which is like how you get your what do they get when you have a regular job? It's been so long. A W-2, right? At the end of the year, that's what you get. So those places sometimes will issue you a 1099, which is basically like a W-2 for a contractor. So when you're doing your taxes, basically they let you know, we told the government you made some money. And so you'll take that along with your W-2 and file your taxes with it. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, you brought, okay. That's right. While we're here and we're getting your question, this book is pretty awesome. So, I mean, replay people, I'm sure by now sold 1 million copies, but live people, it sold over 220,000 copies. You see that little sticker that don't come off because it's a New York Times bestseller, honey. And for people who are wanting to take this was like a great savings journey, but if you want to take a holistic financial journey forward, Get Good with Money. It is available at getgoodwithmoney.com. And so it takes you through a journey of budgeting, savings, debt, credit, earning, investing, insurance, your financial team, your net worth, your legacy, your estate planning. It takes you through 10 core components of what I call financial wholeness. So only one of those components is savings. And so that's what we focused on with the challenge, so you don't get overwhelmed. But Get Good with Money is this great book that takes you holistically through all your personal finances. So getgoodwithmoney.com. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay. Evie, great question. Is it better to have your payroll department deduct and deposit money into your money bucket account or use the main bank where your check goes? Is it okay to use 2 different money bucket accounts? Girl, E, you are singing the song of my people, which is yes. I would absolutely recommend that you have payroll deposit money into your account for you. I call it the split it before you get it. The split it before you get it, meaning I would like you to have ideally 4 accounts. Let's go over them. Account 1, your deposit account. This is where your money lands. And typically I call it like you kind of leave your allowance here. You have a debit card here. Account 2, also a checking account. So this is checking. Account 2, also a checking. Your bills account. You're going to look at your money list and say, how much money do I need to have in my bills account? Go there every 2, or how often you get paid. This one, no debit card. Because when you get to swiping, it's okay to spend the money in your initial checking account, not your bills account. Your bills account is to pay bills. So no debit card attached to your checking. This was third account, savings account. This is one of your money buckets. So savings for emergencies. Ideally, at least 3 months is what you're working toward. Once you get to 3 months, you say, depending on like the kind of job you have or the industry you're in, how quickly can I replace my income? If you're a nurse, 3 months is enough. Girl, they always need nurses. If you are an engineer, you might need more, And then the last savings bucket is your goals account. You want to save for a house, you want to save for a car, you can start saving, or you want to save for vacation. Checking, savings. These 2 savings should not be next to these checking. Checking should be at your regular brick and mortar bank, like the banks you see like on the corner outside, right? Savings, online only banks, high yield savings, because these brick and mortar banks don't pay nothing when it comes to interest. 0.00000000001%. These are high yield savings accounts, these online banks. Typically, they pay more. I mean, depending on, when you're watching this. Okay. So, and I like to have my payroll department split my money before I get my money. Right. So, hey, split into these 4 accounts. Now, the Budgetnista is not some huge company, and we're able to split it into 4 accounts. If you have a company that you work for that won't split it, to E's point, you can have it land in your initial, this deposit account, and then have the main bank put it into the other accounts for you. But ideally, let payroll do that. Let them do that. Let them girls fight. Okay, let's see. Okay. I had a book from last year, only got through chapter 1. Lourdes, that's okay. Chapter 1, that's a big chapter. Because here's the thing about this book, or any of them, or even the challenge. I don't care Remember I said before, my only expectation for myself and you is growth. That's one chapter more than you've done before. When you're ready, you'll pick it back up again. Like I said, I drank water. That's the only health thing I switched for the first 2 years of my getting healthier journey. That's okay. It was a place to start. And then slowly but surely, now I'm cooking with grease, honey. So that's okay. You bought it from the library? Nah, I love that. People get mad when they're like, "Oh, you didn't buy it." Sis, I remember a time. That's all I could afford. If you bought it from the library, great. The libraries have it. That's what they're there for. Okay, let me see. No, Maya asked, do I work with clients one-on-one to address specific financial goals and issues? I used to back in the day when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore, and I don't have the capacity, Maya. But I'm trying to think. If you shoot me an email, sometimes I don't really know as many people that do that as much. Okay. I'm just looking up questions. Questions. Don't be shy. Okay, what's the best way to get revolving credit? Well, revolving credit basically is a credit card. If you have really bad credit, you have a low credit score, they're likely not going to issue you what's called an unsecured card. That's basically a card where it's unsecured because the bank puts up the money. But you can apply for what they call a secured credit card. And so not every bank offers this, but some of them do a secured credit card. And a secured credit card is one where you put up the money. Anywhere usually as low as $150 to $300 to as high as $1,000 plus. Basically, you will Google secured credit card to see if your bank offers it, or call your bank and ask them. And then they'll say, "Hey, Yum Yum on the Run." That's her name. It's cute. Sure, we'll give you a card, but you got to give us $300. They'll put the $300 in a savings account for you, give you a card with a limit of $300. You get to swipe it. And if you don't pay that card off, or if you don't pay the card on time, and you're like, I ain't got it. They're like, that's all right. We got it. We're going to take your $300 and pay it off. Okay. But the key, Yum Yum, is if you do get any credit card or secured card, is to pay it off every month in full. That's the idea. So Antoinette, I see what you said about that account. 3% for the high yield savings right now. Okay. Let's see. Just getting see if you haven't got any more questions. To the point of money bucket, does it make sense to have used two separate banks or use the same company? I like to separate checking, one bank, savings, one bank. Because why? If you're anything like me, if you go down to the Target or any of these places, the Marshalls they got the cute things, and your checking is running low and your savings is looking thick. I said, girl, get on over here and put that money in checking. And if it's at the same bank, the transfer is instantaneous. That's not good. So I like to have my savings over here, my checking over here. That way, if I want something, it's going to take about 24 hours to 72 hours for savings to mosey her thick self on the checking. And that means I would have to sleep at the Target for me to get the thing I want. So it's like, girl, never mind. Exactly. So I like to have my checking at a different bank and my savings at a different bank. Oh, Reed, she said, I'm grateful for the awesome teacher you and the Dreamcatchers have been. Oh, that's awesome. I love y'all. I love y'all. Okay. Should I use larger loan to pay off a smaller loan? Okay. Antoinette asked, should I use a larger loan to pay off a smaller loan? Now, here's the thing. So if you take out a loan to pay off another loan, the likelihood is you are still going to be behind. The reason why they have these kind of like debt consolidation loans is they know that people will say, I owe $4,000 here and $2,000 here and $6,000. I'll consolidate them and get this new loan. And at first it seems great, but then people get behind on this larger loan. And so I would suggest instead really leaning in, at least to start, with the snowball method. Do your Googles, the snowball method, which allows you to pay down debt more systematically. It's a little slower, but it took you time to build that debt. So it's going to take you time to pay it off. Okay. I just wanted to be mindful of that. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm just looking at some more questions. Should I use my car as collateral to consolidate my credit card debt? Mahogany, do you need your car? Because if something happens, I like to ask myself, what's the worst case scenario? If you use your car as collateral and God forbid you lose your job, you get hurt or whatever, whatever, and you can't pay, they're going to come take your car. And so credit card debt, although I remember it took me about like 4 or 5 years to pay down my credit card debt. So I get it. I get it. So I much rather use the snowball method and slowly but surely pay it down. Put the credit card debt down. I literally had to take my credit cards and say, snip, 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 snip. It's over for you. And it took me years to pay it down, but it's better that than to put other parts of your life in financial jeopardy. I'm assuming you use your car to go to work. And if you don't have your car, then what? I'd rather you just slowly, surely pay that debt down. Okay? Ooh, Steven. Look, we got a dude in here. Hey, Steven. The man don't usually be joining us with the ladies around these pods. Steven said, I'm a 55-year-old male that's got an extra $75 per pay period. What's the best way I can grow this? Okay, Steven, first, I want to ask you, bills on time, Steven? I'm going to assume yes. Okay? I'm going to ask you, Steven, do you have a full emergency fund funded, meaning 3 months of your expenses set aside in a savings account? I'm going to assume yes. Okay? Steven, are you saving for anything? A car, a house, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to assume no. Or yes, or that's funded. So if all those things are like bills are on time, my emergency fund is funded with my 3 months or more, you're already funding like what other savings. Now it's time to invest, Steven. And at $75 a pay period, I'm assuming you have 2 pay periods in a month. That's $150 a month. Steven, I would consider that's probably not enough to start saving for so you want to consider investing. There's multiple ways to invest. You can invest starting your own business. You can invest in real estate. $150 a month is probably not going to be enough to start investing in real estate, but you might want to look into the market, right? And so index funds are a great way to start. Do your Googles, and there's plenty of free courses and classes and videos online, right? An index fund is probably a great way because that's a good amount of money to put in an index fund. An index fund basically is a basket of stocks and bonds and other investment vehicles. It's a basket of those things, and it can mirror an index or the market. So like the S&P 500, for example, is the top 500 companies in the US that's traded on the market. So you can literally get an index fund that does what the S&P 500 does. And over the last 100 years, the S&P 500 has yielded 10% a year. Meaning if you put your money into an index fund that does what the S&P 500 does, you can literally Google index funds for S&P 500. You can see them, right? You can put your money there and reasonably expect in the next 10 years that you'll have a return about 8 to 10%, which is good, really good actually. I don't put on lashes, y'all. I'm not even a makeup girl. These lashes are irritating me. And so that's what I would do. Steven, hope that helps. Yes, Sisters in Media, this workshop will be available to view later. Mm-hmm. So what do I recommend after the savings challenge? I'm glad you asked, Miss Crystal. And then we'll take this question and we'll jump off. So if you're wanting more hand-holding, if you're wanting a deeper dive into all things personal finance, obviously, like I said, Get It With Money if you want a book. But I have an online school called the Live Richer Academy. The Live Richer Academy. Let me put this up here. So what's great about the Live Richer Academy, so this is how you join. Join LRA. The Live Richer Academy is literally the book come to life. It is all of these experts teaching every aspect: budgeting, savings, debt, credit, learning to earn, investing, insurance, your financial team, your net worth, your estate planning. It's teaching that and more, and business. It's I have these people and myself teaching these in-depth courses, and they have there's a live component to the Live Richer Academy. It's just awesome. So it's I do the Live Richer challenges, these kind of free mini classes. Well, it wasn't really mini because it's 3 weeks, because I know everyone doesn't have money. I know I did not 15 years ago. And so I try to create a space where if you don't have any funds or you just want to get started now or whatever, I do these challenges. There's other Live Richer challenges, but then I created the Live Richer Academy for people who might have a little extra. The Academy is, relatively speaking, to courses that are out there, very nominal. Because we still try to keep the pricing as reasonable as possible. And so what I do, the Academy, like I said, is a deeper dive, more hand holding, deeper classes and courses. It's a beautiful place. And so if you like the challenge, you'll love the Academy. You love, love, love the Academy. Okay. Okay, let me see. I'm just looking to see. Okay, I'm just looking. Oh, she said the LRA is everything. I've been a member for years and helped me purchase my first home. Yay, Adrian! This honestly, Adrian, it's getting gooder and gooder over there. Okay. Okay, so Esselyn, I have money in a Vanguard account from a contracting agency I used to work at. Where should I move the money to? An Ally account? So Esselyn, is it a retirement account? Because do not touch it if it's a retirement account, because it has to be a special rollover so you don't get penalized. So I wouldn't move it until you're clear what kind of account is it. Is it just because you said Vanguard? Vanguard, typically people have money at Vanguard because they're investment accounts, but if it's for the contracting agency, it's probably a retirement account. You want to check. And if you're going to roll it over, you want to roll it over to a different retirement account, but it's not going to be you that rolls over. Literally, you will find, if it's Ally or whatever, because I think Ally has retirement accounts, you'll find whatever bank that you want to open up a retirement account with and say, hey, bank, I have some money here. The bank will talk to the bank, not you, Esselyn. The bank will talk to the bank and roll over. 10 bears in the bed, and the little one said it's going to roll over for you. Because if you don't, not only will you trigger, you ain't 65 yet, sis, because Esselyn, I said you look young, right? But you're a sister, so you might be 65, but I doubt it, right? That you don't want to trigger, one, a penalty for taking the money out before you're 65, two, taxes. Like I've done that and lost so much money before, so you want to do that. Okay. Naya said, if your job doesn't offer a 401k, how can you get one? So banks have 401ks. Well, banks have IRAs, right? So those are individual retirement accounts. You can open up a retirement account independently. Hey, Melissa. Hey, girl. That's one of my Dreamcatcher admins. Okay. Okay, y'all, it's getting kind of late. All right, so hopefully this is really helpful. Replay crew, maybe you stayed. Hey, boo. So a few things. Get good with money, honey. If you're wanting the next step, join LRA if you like, working digitally. And like I said, there's pre-recorded videos. We fly all around the country to record the best of the best. But then we also have live components to the Academy, which are also awesome. There's a private group. I'm just really happy for y'all. And like I said, if ever you are needing a refresh, you can literally take the Literature Challenge as many times as you want. LRC Save will be there for you. Tell your cousin, tell your friends, tell your mama and them. It is a free resource. I will always keep it free. I've been doing the challenges now over 10 years. Ain't charged yet. And have committed to always keeping them free. So that if you follow me for a long time, you know that my rule is you don't have to spend money with me in order to get help. I've been committed to that. I was a school teacher for 10 years. Teaching is my passion. It is my greatest joy to be of service to others through teaching. And certainly I have businesses, so I'm here to run a business and, you got to make money. But bigger than making money, I want to make change. And so even if you just did one day, that makes me happy. But come back and do a second day. And then again a third. And then until you get to all 21 days. So yeah, thanks, y'all. It just makes me happy to do this work. All right. Until next time. Bye. Goodbye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. I do. To you and you and you. Name that movie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Name the movie. Bye.